Well, police are still trying to destroy people's Christmas spirit under the guise of keeping people safe from COVID-19 and now potentially COVID-20, in what still seems to be a complete lack of communication and common sense from both police and councils alike. Mike Denaro from Wigan, who turns his house into a winter wonderland to raise money for a hospice, says that even after coming to an agreement with Greater Manchester Police and the council over socially distanced gatherings outside his home for people to see his decorations and leave a small donation, he was still visited several times by police and had words with. Mike Denaro said, "It's been a nightmare. We've had loads of people rocking up, but it's all at safe distances. I think that some neighbours a bit further down have reported it, and then some other people who have seen it online have reported it as well." The council's COVID team have come out and said they're happy for it to continue as long as people social distance, and the local bobby said pretty much the same thing, that it's for charity and they weren't going to be a Grinch by stopping it. "We've even put Santa's footprints on the floor to help with social distancing." Mr. Denaro said that on one occasion, 3 police cars turned up in the street while he was dressed as Father Christmas. A friend filmed one of the exchanges between officers and Mr. Denaro on December the 12th and posted it on Facebook, where at the time it had been shared more than 300 times.
Yeah. COVID, so you only want people in the grounds where they live.
Well, it's
you don't
not,
live
is
in
it? It's not. The council already said that it's allowed. Yes. People from the COVID. Yes. And so is PCD Mail, who I've been liaising with. She's been to the house.
Now, you would expect, of course, that being police, they would have at least made inquiries into the potential permissions sought by Mr. Denaro before turning up. After all, it's not exactly an emergency. And, after all, they are police, and investigating is what they're supposed to do. Isn't it? But no, of course, getting stuck in without trying to establish if any laws have been broken or any guidance has been breached first is so much more fun, especially when they can simply blame it on the ever-changing COVID rules and that they're just human too and can make mistakes. I bet this copper was even trying to get the kids to self-incriminate themselves and say that they were from different households so she could dish out a COVID fine to them. Mr. Denaro said, "It's madness. Someone's having a hot chocolate in the street and there's a guy dressed as a turkey and they send 3 police cars. It took them 40 minutes to get on the radio and find out that we already had arranged it and they could be doing so much better things with their time. Surely they have better things to do. It's not a rave. It's Santa Claus giving out chocolates to kids who are donating money to Wigan and Leigh Hospice." Exactly. And this is why I've added this story to a report here on the channel. Police these days are lazy fuckpigs and seem to almost expect everyone that they deal with to be guilty of a crime, which means they don't have to investigate whether a crime has actually been committed. Because if they simply push people's buttons, even if no crime has occurred, eventually they will upset someone enough to nick them for a public order offence. Or if that doesn't work, they can put their hands on you, and when you pull away, they can nick you for assault emergency worker. These are not only the people who are supposed to understand the law and are taught how to investigate, but these are also the people who are supposed to defend our human rights. Yet, more and more times, they seem to be the ones breaching them. 40 minutes of no doubt trying to get this man to incriminate himself when they could have simply made a call to the council first and then maybe simply pop along or just drive past to double check if social distancing is happening without even having to get out of their vehicle or interact with anyone. But no, yet again, the police simply can't leave things alone. They have to put themselves right in the middle of things that just don't concern them. When are you going to learn that your services are not required nor appreciated unless there is a criminal offence taking place? A spokesman for Greater Manchester Police said shortly after 2:35 p.m. on Saturday, December the 12th, police received a report of a planned gathering due to take place later that day on Fairman Drive in Hindley, Wigan. Officers attended the address and advised residents of the importance of adhering to current government guidelines. Advised residents of the importance of adhering to current government guidelines. Most of the police don't even understand them themselves and simply advise based on their own feelings around it. Sergeant Wesley Walker of Greater Manchester Police's Wigan district added, "We continue to take a measured approach to any report of possible breaches of social restrictions." So measured was the approach that 3 plod cars turned up. So measured was the approach that the police couldn't even investigate to see if it was an unlawful gathering or not beforehand. So measured was the approach that it took 40 minutes to check with the council. He added, "Following a report of a planned gathering, 3 officers attended Fairman Drive and spoke with a number of residents, taking care to explain the guidelines and encourage them to comply with current government restrictions." Why are you lying? If it was a report of a planned gathering, then you would have already known about it. So why did it take 40 minutes for the police on the scene to find out about it? Why did it take 3 police cars? It's simply about time you started doing what you're paid to do. Deal with crimes. If this was a planned gathering, then it is not a crime. As I said, you could have simply driven past to ensure people were socially distancing without even having to get out and intimidate people. It's clear in the video that the copper had no idea that it was planned, as when Mr. Denaro told them the council had already allowed it, the copper was like, "Has it?" with a tone of shock in his voice.
Well, it's not, is it? It's not. The council already said that it's allowed. Yes.
Stop trying to police people who are simply trying to bring a bit of joy to other people's lives. You bunch of cretinous cunt. Big thank you to channel supporters, especially these guys. Your support is truly appreciated. Don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts, as I know many of you will. And until next time, stay safe, look after each other, film the police and other officials.